graduate of Antioch College, is a professor of motion pictures at Wright State University. She's an independent filmmaker with her partner Steve Bogner. Julia's films have screened on HBO, PBS, and been nominated for Academy Awards, won Emmys, and inspired community engagement campaigns. Tonight, Julia is going to tell us about reinvention stories.
Amazing crowd. Okay, this past summer, a team of people were out in the neighborhoods taking pictures, taping interviews in many neighborhoods, at events, backyards, porches, playgrounds, downtown. Why? What was up? Well, we had a mission and we had a project. So, do you remember when Dayton was named one of America's top 10 dying cities? Okay, well, we were actually number 4 to be exact. We all know Dayton took a huge hit in '08, that is true. With the closing of the GM plant, the departure of NCR, all that. So we wanted to look into this. Is Dayton really dying? And an opportunity came along to give us a chance to look for answers. It's called Local Lore, a national project initiated by the independent radio world. It's a national call for project, a competition, and WISO and Steve Bognar and I got one of only 10 grants nationally. Here are some of the supporters. So WISO manager Nina Ellis, Steve and I got together to formulate the project. So we decided to ask this question, as you see up there. We decided to ask by asking individuals how they are reinventing themselves. We thought a 3-act structure would work well. Who was I? What happened? Who am I trying to be now? That's the story of reinvention. So in March and April this year, we put together a team. Staffers at WISO, you may know some of their voices, like Emily McCord wakes you up, Jerry does All Things Considered, Wayne is the Springfield reporter. All these folks are part of our team at WISO. We also gathered a team of young filmmakers from the awesome Wright State University film program, which we insiders refer to as MoPix. You may be wondering, this is radio. Where do they put the pictures? More on that in a minute. We also pulled in some of the new graduates of WISO's excellent Community Voices class. Aren't they cute? So the new class, by the way, a new class starts in January. If any of you are interested in learning how to make a professional radio story based on something here in Dayton or something you want to do a story about, you can start in January. It's a great project. So first, we needed to train the WISO staff to use cameras and editing equipment. So we did a 4-week training complete with homework assignments. And we have plenty of room in their beautiful new studios. Has anybody been there to their brand new studios? It's totally awesome and excellent. Okay, so to be honest, what happened then is many of us started discovering Dayton again. You know, we didn't really know Dayton. I lived in Dayton for many years, from 1972 to 1986, but then I moved. Due a lot to crime, to tell you the truth. Now I live in Yellow Springs. Of course I go to Dayton for events, the neon movies, a few restaurants, my eye doctor, but I really didn't know the city. And I asked my friends who live in Dayton, and I said, how is Dayton doing? And they tended to be very discouraged. So we decided, let's not try the whole city. Let's take a few neighborhoods. These are the neighborhoods we chose. We chose them by driving around a lot, you know, talking to people, just sort of trying to get a sort of a diverse sense of the city. We chose these 4 neighborhoods, and they were all quite different. I mean, I could go into detail about each one, but some of you probably live in South Park or Belmont, or maybe you live in Residence Park over on the west side, or Twin Towers, the most dangerous neighborhood in Dayton. We did choose that one. So we had a process, which was we would walk down the street, maybe wearing a WISO t-shirt, and we would say to people, say, hi, we're doing a radio project. We're working with WISO Radio. Have you heard of that? They usually hadn't. It's called Reinvention Stories. They stare at us. You know, but then we would say, Dayton has had a big downturn. We've been really hard hit. And people said yes, and that's when we started talking. You got the leaflet? That's the leaflet we passed out. Okay, we also taped events. Here's our team at Urban Nights, a few of our people on our team. We taped probably 100 short interviews. 24 or more were extensive. We also did a lot with events. Lots of events. really for the project, but also it turned out was really fun. So here's some of the events: the World Soccer Game, Blessing of the Bikes, the Latino Festival, an anti-violence rally, Muse Machine. I don't know what that last one is, but it really looks like fun. I have no idea what that was. We also looked at some of the businesses. Under the heading of starting a business in a bad economy, what is that like? You know, here's Olive, Ghostlight Cafe, those are stories. Some of the pop-up shops we followed. It was really, really amazingly interesting. Okay, so those people were very brave, by the way, who started a business in a bad economy. So what happens now? We have all this material. Beginning on Monday, you will hear an audio promo on WYSO and see an expanded version of that on the web. We're going to be on the radio and on the web. Weekly radio series, short films, and then a big interactive website. And here is me and Steve trying to crack the code. How do you make a non-fiction interactive website that tells a story? And here we are working just a few weeks ago on that. Very difficult. So we kind of realized we needed help, and we luckily got invited to go to the Sundance Institute New Frontiers Lab, which we were there just like a couple weeks ago, where we up in the mountains of Utah, and we were working very hard, and we were being very humbled by this amazing group of people, but we did learn a lot about making an interactive website that is nonfiction and tells the story. So here's the fun part for right now tonight. Here's the questions. We want to ask some of you the questions tonight. Okay, we have two people armed with tape recorders who will be in the other room at intermission. And if you would like to give your opinion on this, come on into the other room, we'll get your name, we'll take a quick snapshot, or you can wait till it's on WYSO next week and you can call this listener line. I hope you don't mind we use the email address that you signed up on in the back to let you know when the stories start going on the air. So please join us next door during intermission if you'd like to express your opinion. And thank you very much.